How well do you know your gambling vocabulary? Let's find out, because I want to quiz you on a lot of different words, phrases, and idioms that are related to gambling, but many of them you can use in a broader context, and I will explain that as we go through the lesson. And if you would like to access the lesson notes that are right next to me, click on that link down below in the description. Join my email community, and you can review these words and really make them a part of your active memory. So let's begin with some useful words and phrases. And this is a quiz lesson. I would love it if you participate. You can write your answers on a separate sheet of paper or just use the comments section below. And let's start out with just some fill in the blank questions. If you play long enough, the always wins. I'll give you about 5 seconds to think of the answer. So in this case, where do you play? Where do you gamble? So you would say the always wins. I think a key word is the article the, and you would say the house when often talking about a casino, a business, a place where people gamble. And that is a statement that I think is pretty common. The house always wins.
The house always wins.
Yes. The house always wins.
Because the house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you.
How about this question right here? I think we need to roll the what? I'm giving you this picture. Hopefully it's a hint, it's a clue as to what the answer is. I think we need to roll the dice. So dice refers to the small cubes, and there are dots on each side to represent numbers. And the singular, people may say die, the plural, dice. Now, you may hear people say dice when talking about just one, but you may hear die or dice. To roll the dice. Now, this is an expression that you could also use to refer to just some risk that you're taking in order to achieve a goal, and like say, okay, let's take a risk, let's roll the dice.
Roll the dice.
Just roll the dice.
At trial, the DA will throw everything at us. You just be rolling the dice.
Yeah, roll the dice.
To help you better understand how this phrase, roll the dice, is used in context, I have some news headlines for you. Mercedes roll the dice with the W14 as a bid to return to title-winning ways. But will it pay off? Again, they're going to roll the dice. Or help me, Hera, should I roll the dice on a Dungeons & Dragons-based romance? And finally, Angels will roll the dice by keeping Shohei Ohtani making other deals. So again, in all of these examples, they're talking about taking that risk to achieve a goal, to roll the dice. The next question, let's play a game. Does anyone have a of cards? In this case, I'm talking about the quantifier. If you have a group of cards, you may call it a what? Deck of cards. So this is the quantifier that you would use when you're talking about this group of cards, a deck of cards. Now, in a deck of cards, there are 4 different suits. This is a bonus question. Do you know the names of these suits? We have hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. A little bit of a bonus question for you. The next question. At a casino, the is the person who the cards. There are 2 blanks, but really it's very similar. I guess you could say these words are perhaps in the same word family, because we're talking about, in the first blank, a noun, and in the second one, a verb. At a casino, the dealer is the person who deals the cards. If you and I are playing a card game, I might say, well, who's going to be the dealer? Oh, I'm the dealer. Okay, I will deal the cards.
Dealers are watching the players. The boxmen are watching the dealers.
All right, deal the cards. Come on, let's deal the cards.
Do you know this word? At the casino, I won several stacks of what? You can see in the picture, I'm talking about those things over there. They are not tokens. They are not coins. In English, I would say they are chips. I think they're pretty much used in just about every casino. You give the casino money, and then they will give you back chips that represent that same value of money, and you will get chips at the casino. She just won $1,000. She's going to bet it all and go, what phrase would complete that sentence? So you win some money, and then you're going to bet it all again, and you could say, oh, I'm going to go. In this case, you could say double or nothing. This is a phrase that you can use when playing a game to say that the amount that you either won or even lost, you're going to bet it all again, that same amount, and go double or nothing. One thing I want to point out is a distinction between American English and British English. Now, of course, I am from the US, so I am going to say double or nothing. But in British English, people would say double or quits.
Double or
It's
quits.
a challenge.
Yeah.
Double or quits.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
And, okay, double or nothing.
Here is a situation that you may find yourself in at a casino. I have 11, and the dealer is showing a 6. Therefore, I would like to what? We're talking about the game blackjack, which I think is very common at a casino. And in this case, I would say I have 11, and the dealer is showing a 6. Therefore, I would like to double down. To double down, another phrase using the word double. But in this case, it means to double the bet after seeing someone's initial cards. And basically, you're just hoping to win more money.
Got an 11. You always double down on 11.
I know, but it's $200. It's blood money.
You gotta double down.
I can't double down on you.
One thing that I would like to point out with this phrase, to double down, it also has another meaning, which I think is often used in just casual conversation. And in this case, it would mean to strengthen one's commitment to a particular strategy or course of action, typically one that is a little risky. And I've given you a couple of example sentences to help you better understand how it's used in context. He didn't admit that he was wrong. Instead, he decided to double down. Or I could say the company decided to double down on their marketing efforts in hopes of increasing sales.
Look, you know what I think we need to talk about? Is doubling down.
Doubling down.
Cooking 100 pounds a week, not 50.
Here is the next one. He doesn't have the winning hand. His bet is just a what? If you don't have a very good hand, but you bet anyway, what is it that you're doing? His bet is just a bluff. So if we're talking about using it as a noun, a bluff is just an attempt to deceive or trick someone into believing that one can or is going to do something. And you'd say, oh, it's just a bluff. But I can use it as a verb as well, to bluff, to deceive someone as to one's abilities or intentions, and you are bluffing someone.
He's bluffing.
Vulcans never bluff.
You're bluffing.
I never bluff.
Here is another one. He played the lottery and hit the what? Which noun is missing in this sentence? To hit the, it's a pretty common phrase. He played the lottery and hit the jackpot. So if we're just talking about jackpot as a noun, it refers to a large cash prize that someone would win if you're maybe at a casino or you're playing the lottery. But I could also use the phrase to hit the jackpot when referring to really a huge or big success or just making a large profit, often through luck, to hit the jackpot.
We hit the jackpot.
Wow, Mason really hit the jackpot this Christmas.
Now let's have a look at some gambling idioms and expressions, and I'm going to switch things up a little bit because this time I'm giving you the meaning of the idiom as well as an example sentence below to try to help you figure it out. So this idiom means to protect yourself against loss by supporting more than one possible result or both sides in a competition. And this is going to be a bit more challenging, but check out the example sentence below. They decided to by placing a large bet on the home team and a small bet on the opposing team. So what is it that you're doing in this situation? I would say they're trying to hedge their bets. So you don't want to risk too much and lose too much. So you're going to place another bet to pretty much offset the amount that you could lose, and you're trying to hedge your bets.
It's called hedging your bets, boys.
My brother's a bookmaker. Bookmakers hedge their bets.
Here is the next one. This refers to something that is very likely to happen. And you can see in the example sentence, so you think they'll get married next year. I think it's, you think this thing is likely to happen. In that case, you would use this idiom. You would say that something is in the cards. That if you believe it's going to happen, oh, yeah, I think it's in the cards. This is more of a U.S. idiom because in the UK, instead of in the cards, they may say it's on the cards. Both of them are correct, but I wanted to make you aware of that distinction between American English and British English. In the cards versus on the cards. How about the next one? This means to be honest and not hide what you are thinking or doing. I'm not going to keep secrets and be completely transparent. I'm going to what? So if you're trying to be honest and you're not going to hide anything, you could say, I'm going to put my cards on the table. I'm going to show you what I have and be completely transparent. I'm going to put my cards on the table.
Let's put our cards on the table here.
Lady, let's put our cards on the table.
Here is the next one. This is used to describe a situation in which it is impossible to be sure about what will happen. So if he becomes the new CEO, what? We don't know what could happen, and you could just use this idiom and say, all bets are off. If he becomes the new CEO, all bets are off. You have no idea what will happen. All bets are off.
Legend has it, when the Santas blow, all bets are off. Anything can happen.
You want to be like them? Waste of time. You want to be different? All bets are off.
To help give you a better idea as to how this idiom is used in context, I have some more news headlines for you. Jay Leno says censorship can't change comedy. If it's really funny, all bets are off. When AI unplugs, we don't know what's going to happen. All bets are off. And finally, Tasmania's unique electoral system means all bets are off on the Liberals' future. And then we have this next idiom, to be the result of chance rather than something that you have control over. She was chosen first at random. It was just the what? And you can kind of see in the picture what's going on. And you could say it was just the luck of the draw. So if you say something's the luck of the draw, it means that, well, you don't really have control over it. It's another way of just really emphasizing that, well, this was just a lucky situation. It was luck of the draw.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, luck of the draw.
If we get too many bad candidates up front, we're sunk.
Luck of the draw.
Here is the next one, a powerful and often secret weapon, advantage, etc. that can be used if it is needed. If they try to back out of the deal, I'm not worried because I've got an what? And you can see that article and, so you know the next word begins with a vowel sound, and you can see in the picture the cards, those are aces. So in this case, you could say you have an ace up your sleeve. If they try to back out of the deal, I'm not worried because I've got an ace up my sleeve. This is just that secret weapon or advantage that you may have, and you can say that you've got an ace up your sleeve.
Catching him something else. Yeah, Cap, but I got an ace up my sleeve. See this little guy? They use this to track game in Africa.
You like that? What is that? Isn't that beautiful? It's like an ace up my sleeve. What else? You wait.
How about this one? To allow events to happen without trying to change them. That is the meaning of this idiom. And as an example, I could say it's out of our control. We'll just have to see what happens. And you see the picture there, those chips. And what are they doing? They are falling. So you could say it's out of our control. We'll just have to see what happens and let the chips fall where they may. And you want to allow these events to unfold and really not try to change them. And in that case, you could say, let's just let the chips fall where they may, and we'll see what happens.
I say let's evolve. The chips fall where they may.
Please, the man is talking. Let him get it out and let the chips fall where they may. I can't bring myself to do it, Russ. We'll just have to let the chips fall where they may.
Then we have this idiom, which means to arrange something in a dishonest way in order to achieve the result you want. What is it that you're doing? It's impossible for us to win the competition because they have what? And you're doing something in a dishonest way. In that case, you may be stacking the deck. To stack the deck means to arrange certain things, whether it could be rules or whatever, so that you have an advantage, and you're just really doing it in a dishonest way. And you could say that you are stacking the deck, or maybe someone else is stacking the deck.
They got Lelaine? They're stacking the deck with ringers.
The deck is stacked. The rules are rigged.
What are you up to, Nigel?
Oh, just stacking the deck in my favor.
Once again, I want to point out the difference between American English and British English, because in the US, you would say that someone is stacking the deck, while in the UK, you would say they're stacking the cards. Same meaning, we're just going to change that one word. Stacking the deck versus stacking the cards. Now let's get to some more casino-specific vocabulary and talk about some of the games that you would find if you walk into a casino. Because before, many of those idioms and even the vocabulary that we talked about in the beginning, you can use in a broader context. But specifically, these are games that people may play in a casino or even, among your friends. A card game in which players try to acquire cards with a face value totaling 21 or more. This is actually a game that I have previously mentioned when I talked about the phrase double down. So if you're going to double down and double the bet, you would do this when you're playing blackjack. It's a card game, and you're trying to get to 21 or as close to 21 as you can. Here is the next one. I think if you go into just about any casino, you're going to see these machines right here that you try to win money by putting coins into it and operating it, and you may pull the handle or push the button, and these machines are called slot machines. And yes, if you go into a casino, you will certainly see slot machines. They're very colorful. They're very loud. How about this game right here? This is a very lively and energetic game played with 2 dice. Remember, we talked about dice already, in which a throw of 7 or 11 is a winning throw. 2, 3, or 12 is a losing throw. And this is a very, simplified way of playing the game. There's more to it than that. But the game that you see in the picture right here is called craps. What about this game right here? And I'm sure these are games that are very popular. I'm sure you've seen them, movies, TV shows. This is a gambling game in which a ball is dropped onto a revolving wheel with numbered compartments. You would call this game roulette. How about this card game right here, which is probably the most famous card game that is played all around the world? It is played by 2 or more people who bet on the value of the hands dealt to them. And you are going to play this game of poker. Now, Texas Hold'em, I included that because it is a version of poker that I think is commonly played in casinos and even among friends. You could have your own game of Texas Hold'em and you get together and you play poker. What do you think this game is called right here? It is a comparing card game played between 2 hands, the player and the banker. This is a game I actually have never played this game, but you see it in just about every casino. It is called baccarat. So you're comparing cards and you have a player and the banker. And now for a little review. I know I've given you a lot, but look, I'm just going to put my cards on the table and be transparent because it's a lot to take in. Hopefully you were familiar with some of these words and phrases, but I hope you learn some new ones as well. Some people may say, well, this approach, it's too difficult because there are too many words, but I'm going to double down and say I think it's helpful, and it's good to get review as well as, learn a few new ones and build your vocabulary slowly. And I really hope that you enjoy some of the other video lessons and feel that discovering the channel was just like you hit the jackpot. I hope you feel that way. And of course, you can continue to build your vocabulary. Watch another video lesson. I think that this is something that will happen. I can see it in your future. I think it's in the cards. And of course, I will be back with another video lesson next week. I promise, it's true. I am not bluffing. And what else could I throw in there? I think that's good. We can wrap things up. If you enjoyed the lesson and you did learn something new, you can let me know by hitting that like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. So long.